Stardock's in London. Hello, everybody. This is the Stardock Twitch channel. We are live. Hooray! I'm Adam Buesner. Hello. I've got with me Derek Paxton, who is Kale on the forums. He is the lead designer on Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes, as well as all of its DLC, and the head of our studio as well. So Derek wears a lot of hats. None of them are as awesome as my twins hat, obviously.
Thanks for having me on. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be super fun. I was just telling Derek off the air that there's actually no way he can complain as much about the way that I developed an empire as Paul did last time on our Galactic Civilization stream.
Well, we'll take a look and we'll see. I may find reason. This is a game that, we're going to look at a game today that Adam started and I'm picking up midway, so we'll see how bad he... do we have to be censored on this? Yeah. How bad he set me up. Shucky darn.
It doesn't have to be I mean, I like to keep it try to PG-13 or a soft R.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Soft R. This is like the films I did in college.
Jeez. Oh, man. Do I need to get HR involved in this stream? Because...
we may even get to a point where we look at the game today. Maybe.
It's going to be great. So this is Legendary Heroes. It's Stardock's Fantasy 4X strategy, empire building, big... PC game.
Well said. I'm glad you're in charge of our marketing.
Yeah. Hey, well, I'm a professional communicator. Okay. So we have a DLC actually that just came out today called the Leader Pack that we're showing off a little bit today. Derek is playing as Renge the Aphotic, who is our first monstrous sovereign. So he's actually a spider dude who is the leader of our empire here. And
can they see what's on my screen?
Yeah, I certainly hope so.
Okay, so they see me and what's on my screen. I don't watch a lot of... I mean, I love Twitch and watch it every night. Yay, go Twitch. All right, so let's see what Adam stuck me with here. Renge is...
Okay, we appear to be back on. Sorry about that, everybody. The Twitch XSplit just kind of failed out on me for a second there.
Okay. All right, so as I was saying, I was just looking at what Adam stuck me with here, and we have Renge as a warrior. Looks like he's fairly well decked out. His equipment's okay. I also have a little group of Syndrome Demons. Since I'm playing as Rosalind, we're getting free elementals for the shards that we capture. I love Syndrome Demons. The more units they kill, the more, the tougher they get. But for some reason, Adam has them hidden way back here, so let's bring them up.
He was scouting and stomping on those outposts, actually. That used to be Paradin until very recently. So
yeah, I was looking at Hope. This is the Tarth capital. Obviously, Adam's taken over. See, new Paradin. Here's the Paradin, the former Paradin capital. Looks like we have a lot of fortresses in our empire here. One town and one as of yet undecided.
Yeah, all three of the Tarth, no, two of the Tarth cities that I captured were both fortresses, and I had already made Hegat's fortress, and so I was like, well, we're going to make a lot of dudes. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, most alarmingly, here is Proserpine, the Paradin leader, sitting right inside my boundaries between two of my cities. She is 14th level. That's not good. And she has... all the enchantments on her, apparently, as any good Paradin leader would have. Good old Proserpine. So she's got 2 mages and 2 spearmen. She has nothing for an army, but she's Proserpine, and she's enchanted out the butt, so she's going to be a problem. But we got some armies there to defend, and we got a bare naked city there. Wow.
So this game is, hey, no problem. This game, I tried to come up with a setup for this game that was kind of took advantage of our DLC. And so basically it's a 2v2v2 team game where the old sovereign and the new sovereign for 3 of our factions are each in the, on a team with each other. Okay. So that's the deal. We got a couple questions in the chat. Sure. One of the things that came up on the forums pretty recently, people want to know, Derek, if you're aware of the Mage skill tree bug that some people are seeing.
I am. We fixed it, and that fix will be going out today. So I have a fix. It's an internal look. The QA is looking at it right now. It's
Great.
Actually something we fixed. We broke when we were fixing something else yesterday. as happens. This is what happens when I say, oh, I know how to fix that, and here's the fix, and go ahead and push that out right away, and I skip QA, and then I break something else. So that's my fault. I'm sorry. But we do have the fix for it already, and it'll be going out real soon.
Excellent. So this is the leader DLC. The interesting thing to me about this is playing as Renge. Obviously, I kind of set up this game so we could do something besides watch the first like 3 cities get founded on a stream. Was playing as Renge, and he's this really physical, sort of natural warrior type for the Realm, and which makes for a very interesting contrast to their normal play style because they are the most magic based of the Empire factions.
Yeah, if you notice what I'm doing is I'm moving Renge up to the front line. I'm really worried about Proserpine and seeing what she is doing. So I trained some guys. Came out of August here, some mages, and since Adam's already put Heart of Fire on this city, they're going to be really nice mages because I have that bonus fire damage on them. So let's keep some more guys coming. People have different favorites for what the units. I love axes. I love being able to go in and cleave and hit 3 units at once. So I'm going to get some axemen coming. All the rest of my cities are okay. My demons are also going to be moving up towards the front line. I don't think Renge is going to be able to take Proserpine by himself. Oh, she's still camped here. But I might be able to make a secondary army to hit her with to take out some of these mages. If I can get these mages out of her army before Renge and his group hit, I might be able to take her out. So that's my plan.
She has also been withered. Her army is withered for another turn or 2.
Okay. All right. Awesome. I see she just moved up here and took out my resources. And I've made some sentinels here. Let's drop them into the city. More mages here. This will come together in those armies when we get close. And, ooh, Renge can move up. All right. So I got some grave wardens and sentinels. Sentinels don't do a lot of damage, but they're very well armored. So they can sit and take damage for a little while. I'm a little worried about that against Proserpine since her mages are going to ignore my sentinels entirely and go after my weaker units.
They do have lightning hammers now. At least the new ones that are popping out should have lightning hammers. So,
okay. All right, so let's see here. Renge has 1 move left, so he isn't going to be able to get to Proserpine. This is my army I'm going to use to try to beat her up with a little bit. As you can see, the army is maxed out. If I got some research some more techs, I could have larger armies, but I don't have that ability quite yet. So I am not going to attack right now since I want them both to be able to attack in the same turn. So I'll wait. Hopefully Proserpine. All right, there's Saressa bragging about her blacksmithing ability.
So Derek, can you talk a little bit about what your goals were with the 1.6 DLC and who you've been talking a little bit about the different kinds of players that you see engaging with Legendary Heroes and engaging with 4X games in general, and just what the different kinds of players will find in the DLC to be worth the $5.
Yeah, it's interesting making a leader pack for Legendary Heroes because you can customize your own leaders, and we see a lot of save games. If a player's had an issue or a problem, then we send us the save game and we take a look at them. So we get to see a lot of how players actually play. And what we noticed was a lot of players, of course, make their own sovereigns. So we're offering a sovereign pack for a game that where most people make their own sovereigns. We wanted to make sure it was still worth it for them. So what we did was when we created these new sovereigns is we added their abilities to sovereign customization. So as I notice here, I'm playing against Paradin as well as her daughter Majesta. Majesta is a new sovereign in the DLC, but one thing I really love about Majesta is every time she casts a spell, she's healed. So when I was playing as Majesta, it really made me play differently. So instead of just coming in and casting that summon, I'd have Majesta in battle. I'd let her take that hit from an opponent and then cast the summon, so I could get that bonus healing would also help me out. So trying to make the most of that, and it allowed me to win some battles that I wouldn't normally be able to win, especially for a Paradin caster who tends to be a little bit weak or fragile. So that allowed her to stick around. So I really like things like that. Majesta was actually the last sovereign I designed. I was really having a hard time trying to find something that made her feel special when I was going through, and she, you know, like I tried a couple things with her and really wasn't liking it until I came across that healing ability, which I liked, and then she was the last one I did, and then I sent them off to you to play test and try, and you were the one that kicked back on Moria, one of our other ones, and said she just didn't feel special enough, and
She was so boring.
yeah. I really like you said that you don't really have a thief archetype. Oh, notice Proserpini's running for it. She's not going to get away.
The AI always seems like it wants to go found a new capital after you take it out. So I'm guessing that's what she's off doing.
I don't know. She was trashing some stuff there for a little while. Move these guys up. But she's not going to get away. So, yeah, with Moria, you said, you know, she just didn't feel right. We don't really have a thief archetype in the game, and what you had suggested was give her an ability that gives her a chance to have better loot from goodie huts and lairs, and so we introduced the treasure hunter ability for her. And again, if you want to create a new sovereign yourself, customize one, you can give that new sovereign treasure hunter, and it has a chance of, instead of getting a common item from some of the lairs, you get an uncommon, or if you're looking for one of the ones that gives uncommon items, has a chance to give a rare one. So it definitely changes up your game and makes it a little fun.
Which are huge differences, I should point out, in LH. Like, an uncommon item versus a common is like a pretty nice broadsword instead of a dagger.
Yeah.
And then like a rare is, you know, a flaming death machine as opposed to, you know, a horse or something.
Yeah, she's actually a bit of a balance concern, because if you get lucky and you get a couple of those uncommons and rares early on, you know, it's a really big swing. And if you don't, then it's going to play like it's normally balanced. So we really have to be really careful on how we balance giving out loot. And she kind of breaks the rules a little bit. So, but that's fun. You know, I like little things like that kind of test the boundaries. But if you're looking for super, super balanced, she's probably not the sovereign for you, because weird things will happen when you're playing Moria. I just had a crow demon spawn out of my city, so that's great. I'm going to take advantage of that. Put him up here on the mountain. This mountain is part of the Lombard Desert, so this is one of our wildland areas. I would not want to wander in here with my armies, but I'll have my crow demon float up on the mountains here where nobody can get at him, and keep an eye on what Proserpini is doing.
Devil Dog has another question. He wants to know if we've seen Endless Legend. Of course we've seen Endless Legend. We see all of the... We're huge 4X nerds here, turns out. And so we've seen that, and, you know, it looks great, and we wish them all the best. I mean, it's always a little bit weird to talk about competitors' games, right? But I mean, just because everybody knows everybody, and you never want to I don't know. It's just getting into it is not necessarily always the best idea. But yeah, I mean, we're super excited just to see how many 4X games have been coming out recently, right? And like, this is the best time that I can remember these last couple years and the next couple of years coming for 4X games since, like, you know, the good old Simtex days. Because everybody remembers Simtex and loves it. And if you don't remember Simtex and loves it, you need to go and head over and pick up some of those old games, because they're really, really good.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Age of Wonders, so I've been having fun with that, and I'm looking forward to Endless Legends, and played some Endless Space, and yeah, always happy to see more strategy games out there. It's all good stuff, certainly. All right, Renge is within striking distance. Has no moves left. Nobody has moves left, so we are going to hit intern. Proserpini. Coward! She knows I got her. I think she was attacking when Adam was playing because she sensed weakness. And
my biggest problem, actually, well, and now it's your biggest problem, is that you don't have drills yet, and so you're stuck with the 5-man armies, which are rough.
I'm wondering if I shouldn't pull back and wait, because she's run off into this little stretch of land here that only one army will be able to go down through. Do I follow her, get wasted by her, or do I come back and get drills and get my army size up? She also has not increased her army size. Not that she needs them with all those enchantments.
I was pretty pleased with this map. It was a pretty interesting little... It made some interesting corridors and some interesting decisions as far as how we were kind of going through.
Yeah. There's my little crow demon. You can see him looking over into the Lombard Desert here, and there is just nastiness down here. It's a nice little treasure, though. Be nice to go in. I wonder if I can fly him in there and grab that. I bet I can. How much she got left, too? Ah! That's right. I can't do that. I should know.
I love this. You have kind of a running. This is the first time I've streamed with Derek, and so it's very different from streaming with Paul. And as a lot of you probably know, we've been doing Galactic Civilizations 3 streams, and taking some Q&A and talking to the fans and the founders and stuff, which has been great. But Paul is very like, he plays really hard and then he stops and then he talks and then he plays and then he stops and he talks. And Derek does this awesome kind of running sort of stream of consciousness commentary.
Oh, I do the same thing when I'm just playing by myself. It's yelling at the screen. It's all. Nothing has changed. Are we being recorded? What? All right. 2 away. Renge's army has 3 moves, so I can do this. All right. This army is not supposed to win. What? Oh, I clicked wrong. Bad clicking. All right.
So you're saying the problem is between the keyboard and the chair.
That's exactly it. Ooh, look at that. They're all coming over to get my little crow demon. He is out of here. Bye-bye.
So we recently just released 1.6 as well, which was the latest patch, the free patch to everybody that plays Legendary Heroes. That came out on Tuesday and was really more of a balance patch, and had a couple things for modders in it. It had a couple new I guess, arguments you can give your abilities that when you're modding, if you want to make abilities that compare the target's stats, so you can have, something that does more damage to a. Oh, Derek, you had a good example of this, and now I'm forgetting it because I haven't spent years neck deep in that XML editor.
Yeah, we had a comparative. Conditional stats before, where I could say if my strength is better than yours, strength isn't in the game anymore. If my attack is higher than yours, then I get this bonus. If my level is higher than yours, I get this bonus. And the change in 1.6 is to say, instead of being a comparative conditional, you can just have conditionals in there that say, if my level is higher than 5, then I get this bonus. Or if your hit points are less, the new death blow ability is literally, if your hit points are less than 20, then I get plus 20 to attack, which means I'm just going to wail and I'm just going to take out those people that are almost dead already. But it's really in, we put a couple abilities in, mostly just to highlight that the new features are there so that players can come in and or modders can come in and they can do all kinds of crazy things with them. If they want to put a unit stat is mounted if you're on a horse, then they can create, if my target is on a horse, then I get plus 5 to attack against them. If my target has a bow, then I get this bonus. Or if he has a shield, or he doesn't have a shield, or however you want to do it, you can make modifiers that apply in just those conditional situations. So it's very cool. Modders should have a good time with them. And the couple ones that we put in there are really nice too.
I know that the treasure finder thing was a code change that had to go in.
Yeah, we try not to do code changes in DLC because you introduce bugs when you do that. But sometimes you just need, if I can find it's relatively small and a couple lines, and we can get in there and we can make these little changes that we think are big enough impact and do really improve the game. For small code changes, we're not talking about adding new features. You wouldn't add, a big new feature to a game a year after release. But if we can add small code changes and get really big effects out of them, then yeah, we take the plunge sometimes. Maybe we shouldn't, but we do. We have fun with it. All right, so now I'm lined up 2 moves away from Proserpine. This is the army that is going to soften her up. I expect this army to lose the battle, but hopefully we take out a couple units so that when my real guys attack, will be okay. Oh. All right, Elemental came in here. Oof. My Grave Elemental did not last long. All right, I got my Sentinels here. Have some good defense. Try to move them up so they can hold off some of the attacks. Adam has the animation speed. Oh, wow.
I only had it on double.
So I'm going to defend these guys because their whole job is to just stick around. So I'll just pass on them. So you see these little shields pop up here, meaning they're defending right now. They're getting defense bonus. So I have as many turns as I can to use these Grave Wardens to take out their units now. Their fighters are going to have relatively good defense, but hopefully can take out some of the mages. Paradin Mages are dangerous. 6 points, that's not good.
Oof. Could be worse. She could have cast Guardian Wind.
She did.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, that was Guardian Wind being cast there.
Oh, you're boned.
Yeah, you see these little...
Yeah. Sorry, I was watching the chat.
All right. Come doing good. My defensive guys are working out pretty well. I probably won't even attack with them. I'll just use them to stay there. I like that this map in particular has this little area here where I can stop anybody from coming across and just make this into a mage battle since I got them 3-2. Like I say, Paradin mages are pretty tough.
We had a question from the chat about a mounts DLC.
Mounts,
kind of an interesting idea. I mean, we'd really have to introduce more resources probably to make that interesting, which might be a little bit, I don't know, might be an interesting avenue to explore. We're probably not going to announce any DLCs that don't exist anywhere on the stream quite yet.
Yeah, we are looking for DLC ideas. There are, like Adam said earlier, there's different types of players out there. Some players want crazier, things, and some players want, more serious things. Some players want things that really provide a lot of lore. Some players, ooh, one of these mages is going down here. And some just want, things that add new gameplay. I personally like the quest pack worked out really well for me because it kind of affects all the games. I feel like whenever I'm playing, the quest pack at some point is going to rear its head and affect the way that game turns out. So they got past my sentinel, and so they busted through my line, and now Proserpine and her guys are coming after my mages. I'm back up here a little bit. I did take out one of her mages. I was hopeful I could do a little more damage to her army before I get finished off. But she's on that wolf. That warg. Oh! Do that.
The warg is super nasty. Just the extra initiative on a character like Proserpine, who is also enchanted in regenerating and doing all kinds of other horrible things.
Yeah.
It's quite the force multiplier, unfortunately.
Oh, brutal. Brutal.
Yeah, those mages are not going to have a good time. I do think Rezuln is my favorite faction to play as.
Why is that?
I really like the Riz. I love the free units.
Yeah.
I'm such a warmonger in these games that having those free units, both as extra military early on, and then having, I tend to use them a lot as scouts later as well. No, our stream didn't blow up. Okay, good. Oh, Devil Dog, you're fine. It's you. You're not exactly shouting down a bunch of other people, so we don't mind. We don't mind the chatting in the chat.
So I took out one of their mages. I injured one other before these guys move in. So that's going to be a little rough. So let's see what we got to help. Anointed by fire. All right.
Do you have enough mana to actually cast a fireball after that?
I do.
Okay.
I got 130. Not too bad.
Fireball could go a fair ways toward evening these odds, actually.
Yeah. What else do I got? This is not going to be an easy fight. Defiled Benediction. Nature's Cloak. Not going to do a lot for me. Dispel Enchantment. That's on a city. All right. This looks like what I got. So let's see. I wish he had some...
And really, if you spend all your mana, when Renge gets murdered out of hand by Proserpine,
yeah,
you're going to lose less mana when he respawns back in the capital, because you only lose half of what you have left in the bank.
That's right.
Ugh, and she's hasting herself. That's awful.
This was not fast enough. All right, so Renge has, I noticed earlier, he has the double swarm bonus, pack tactics. So I want to keep him in close with everybody else to take advantage of that. He has Wither too, yeah. So let's Wither. Let's try to get the strength down on these units. I'll give everybody -3 if
Didn't I
they
already
don't resist.
withered? Aren't they already withered? You might want to check
been
that,
a
because
couple
I hit him with the strategic wither earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, it wore off. Yeah.
All right. So
strategic wither is the best because they can't resist it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a turn out of your combat.
Oh, only got one. I'm doomed. I blame you, Adam.
Well, that's fair.
All right, so I'm going to try to work around these defenders here and get back to take out these mages.
Skittles clearly wasn't paying attention to what you were talking about earlier because she asked what other abilities were added in the DLC, which we added the treasure finder ability, which is on the new Umber Sovereign, and the Lifeblood ability, which is a really neat one that's on the new Paradin Sovereign, which heals the Sovereign every time she casts a spell, which is pretty boss.
Yeah, that's my favorite of them. I also have some new items in there that you can customize your sovereigns with, so you're making your guys. The Revenant Embracers that we're looking at there on Rend are a new item that you can customize your sovereign with. It gives both a defense bonus and an attack bonus. So it's really good for those melee-based sovereigns. Here's Rend.
You can start with a horse now, which is nice.
Yep, absolutely.
That would actually be pretty good on a Rezone Sovereign, just because you get a fair number of fast units, so you just have that faster strategic movement, which I always like.
Initiative is always good for casters. Of course, horses also protect you from getting knocked prone. Which I have these hammers here, but sometimes they'll bash the units, knock them down. With Proserpine being on that warg, that's not gonna work for her.
I love the hammers. I use hammers unless I have a really nice fortress where I can pump out dudes with Heart of Fire, so they get the bonus fire attack.
Yeah.
I'll put that on. Man, she is just a problem.
She is level 14, massive spell resist. Means I'm probably not going to be able to hit her with spells. But I might drop a curse on one of her buddies, like Grave Seal, and then infect them, and they will spread it to her.
There you go.
No!
Or they'll get resisted anyway. Ah, there. Oof, Renge is getting it there.
Yeah. He has Rosalind's ability to steal life.
Yeah?
So I think I'm going to use that here. See if I can get him back up into fighting shape.
In my experience, that always gets resisted because the RNG hates me,
We will
basically.
see. I have a good feeling. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Proserpine might still murder him. Oh, not quite. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, the Legendary Heroes, I felt like did such a good job of making making it possible to take down bigger units, even though they're still quite good.
Yeah.
As opposed to Fallen Enchantress, which is of course a previous game in the series. Man, she's got like, doesn't she have like 140 hit points or something?
174.
Oh my god.
And she's using a sword, so she gets counterattack. So I'm not gonna just attack her straight out. I'm gonna use Crushing Blow on her, because that way it limits her counterattacks.
Yep.
I'll just have the one hit.
Which she's gonna
I'll
dodge
miss.
anyway. Oh man, you almost need to bring another army to just fight her, and then you might win.
Yeah. I got her down.
Oh yeah, and wraiths also get the dodge bonus, which I love.
Yeah.
As well. Oh man, I'm having a hard time here.
This may be doable. Oh, maybe not. Oh, her regeneration is what's gonna decide this.
Yep.
I think she's getting regeneration, and she has something else on her. I see every time she hits, she's getting hit points. What's she
Oh, does she have the life suck ability from something?
something? I keep seeing it come across.
Life
Yeah,
suck.
there it is. The Tear of Syndrome. Plus 3 hit points whenever an enemy's killed. That's what I
Yeah.
keep seeing pop up for her.
Yeah. Oof.
All right. They will never be able to hit her with this one, so I'll skip the drain. I wonder, maybe best just to put them on defense mode and pepper her with these spells, but nope. I fear we are doomed.
I think you might be a little doomed.
Auto resolved. All right. It's just her by herself. What do I got back here, guys?
So for me, the Leaders DLC is I enjoy it just because for a couple of reasons. One of the things, and actually Derek, you can clarify this for me, being able to add death magic onto kingdoms or life magic onto empires, breaking the previously enforced allegiance thing, and being able to mix and match that way is a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's
Excuse me,
one
for me.
leader that has that ability, Sanjo. If you read the lore of Elementals, it's one of the things that's kind of reading through the background lore and saw that Markin goes to this area down in the southern jungle and meets this woman, and a lot of people don't like her and suspect her of practicing death magic. And I kind of like that story, and I was reading about him and thought, oh, she'd be a really cool character. And I guess now that we're putting her in the game, we have the chance to decide, is she a practitioner of death magic or not? So we decided that she was, and she's in there, and you can see, yeah, she can cast death spells. But as a kingdom leader, then you can recruit the life champions, and and still have her casting death spells and them casting life spells and kind of get the best of both worlds. But yeah, she's fun to play with. Death magic is kind of fun with all the golems, the iron golems and stuff that they have.
Oh yeah, I didn't even
For
think of
Gildan
that.
too.
Excuse me.
All right, this is army number 3. Seeing if we can get up to Proserpine in time.
Well, the problem is that if she manages to found a new capital, she's going to get militia to help her out, which is not going to be ideal.
Yeah, and she relies so much normally on a more military leader. Whittling them down, their armies down, would really kind of blunt their power. But with Proserpine, as long as she has mana left, she's dangerous.
Well, she doesn't even need mana left, though, because she's got the crown, so her enchantments don't cost anything to upkeep that are on her.
Yep.
So you can't even wait for her mana to bleed dry. Ugh, she's just evil. I really like playing as Paradin as well.
Yeah, I'd be curious to find out how many players. I didn't think of this. I kind of made the crown and thought, oh, that's a really cool ability, and played a couple games as Proserpine, and then I was talking to somebody else here at Stardock, and they're like, oh, I never have. The first thing I always do is that when I get my first champion is I give them Proserpine's crown, and then they become the military monster because I train them up as a warrior and leave Proserpine for casting, and they're running around with all the enchantments on them. So I thought that was really kind of cool. But I never thought of doing that myself. But now, most times I do that. I do. I don't know how many of our players do that, or if they just leave it with Proserpine.
I don't know. I like to play her as a summoner.
Yeah.
And because summons in the code are like enchantments in that they're applied to a character, and so she doesn't have the upkeep cost on the summons, and so she can just. Like, I just end up with, like, secondary heroes running around with actual armies, and she just keeps resummoning more elementals and doing her thing. That's a lot of fun.
So we have cooperation, which allows us
good.
to increase our army sizes. So I'm going to grab our group sizes, and I'm going to grab drills to increase my army sizes, and we should be a little better set next time we try to go after her.
The good news is that because she doesn't have an empire, she's falling badly behind on research now. So she's not going to have anything better than her pretty weak spearman dudes and maybe a couple mages. But her mages, too, she's not getting any crystal income. Yeah. So she's not able to field any more of those mages. Oof, that is a hefty crystal price to pay to upgrade those axemen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's awesome, but... Oof.
All right. This should be quite a bit better than that janky army Adam left me with.
It's interesting that you like the axeman that much better.
I do. I really, that cleave ability. I don't know if it's just more, it just feels better to me, or if it actually is better. I like spearmen for the same way. I just love that thought of hitting multiple units at once.
Yeah. See, I tend to do more regular attacks as long as I'm not fighting somebody with nasty counterattacks like Proserpine was. Oh, Askian. I love Askian. But the problem, of course, is that the cleaves they don't get the swarm bonuses.
Yeah.
And I tend to really try to optimize for swarm bonuses. So I don't end up using them as much.
Yeah. Oh, Proserpine is hanging around. That is good for me.
Oh, man. I want to go beat up that wildland so bad. I love beating up wildlands. That's like mostly what I do in LH. That's not true. Mostly I just go beat up anything that's in my way. Did I mention that I play this game really aggressively?
That's what it's for. There isn't much, you try to draw the line. There's games that try to really focus on the diplomatic side of the game, and
Frog Boy just showed up. He can say hi if he wants.
Come on in and join us, Brad. Say hi to the people. We're on Twitch.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it doesn't go any farther that way. You have to really. Oh, there you go. There's a little Frog Boy for you. Derek is failing to win with the awesome army that I left him with somehow.
Yeah. With their sticks and stones against Proserpini's enchantments and summons. Yeah, thanks for that. This is it, though. She's not going to last long.
Oh, she probably won't. We've lost Brad. He went on his way.
A rare sighting of the frog. All right. Stay there.
Yeah,
Ooh.
this is gonna go less well for her for sure.
Yeah, if I can get those Syndrome demons to finish her off, then they will go from being 2 people in their group to 3, which would be very nice.
She is totally gonna like one-shot them though.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right. She still has her regeneration. And she's pretty convinced she can take care of this army by herself.
She didn't one-shot him. That's exciting. Oh man, she's got like a flame cloak or something too, because she's doing damage when you hit her. Jeez, it must be from one of the items.
Brute. Oh, I didn't even attack with them. I pulled them off to defend just because I wanted the swarm bonus. She wasn't having it.
Well, it's better than killing one of your units that can actually do damage. Well, sort of damage.
Grab some damage for somebody else, huh?
Hey man, somebody's got to take the hits.
Yeah.
And it might as well be the free demons. That's another man. I love the free cannon fodder. They're so great.
Do you ever use the spiders, resonant spiders?
Not really. I tend to use my mana for other things.
Yeah.
Particularly with Renge. Renge is a beastmaster, which means that he can try to tame animals, which is awesome when it works. But it's 40 mana every shot, which is a lot in the early game. So I don't tend to use a lot of the spiders.
Proserpini is not supposed to be.
Jeez, she is a truck. Oh, and the good news is you get backswing with these guys.
Yeah, it's another reason I love axes.
Yeah, I do like backswing a lot.
Proserpini has evade on her, so she's dodging left and right.
Man.
She's going to live through this.
She is totally going to live through this. Man.
Like I said, if it wasn't for that regeneration, I think we could have got her. But,
I do like axes actually on my heroes a lot. I like to put axes on my heroes because it really stinks when you whiff on a hero attack.
Yeah.
And so being able to have that second chance is really, really nice.
Yeah.
Man, you got her down pretty far.
She got poison too. So
yeah. Poison with the counterattack is really nasty.
Yeah.
Futile.
Good luck. Yeah, that's not going to buy you anything with her on that warg.
Oh,
all right, guys, you just need to do a triple critical hit or something here. And this 9 points. And
no.
Oh.
So good. Oh, you did 121 damage, which is pretty significant. Oh, man.
Sure, no way.
All right, everybody. Well, unfortunately, Proserpine has proven a little too strong for us, although luckily she's been kind of running away instead of killing everyone. Although she would have had a much harder time if she had gone after one of the cities because they would have had a lot of militia support. So fighting, and you would have been able to have 9 units in your army to defend the city. So the city would have been a much harder target.
I've been dumping walls here too for that, just in case she did come at me. But I'm sure the fans are watching this and be like, "Well, you could have done A, B, and C. They're probably better at this game than I am."
So you can let us.
She's a monster.
Yeah, you can let us know on the forums though. If you have any other questions or anything, certainly we're always happy to answer. Hope you enjoyed this little look at the DLC that came out today, the Leader Pack. It's $5 available now on Steam. You can also buy it directly from us or through other digital retailers, but it's all ends up being Steam codes because that's how we do these days. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. This will be available on demand and on YouTube as well as soon as it's finished and uploaded. So I apologize for not building a better army for you, Derek.
That's okay. I have cheat codes, so we're going to win this battle.
Excellent. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank you.